Stop. Don't go anywhere. Listen here.
Save Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security without cuts.
You heard him. Right now, Congress is pushing the so-called big, beautiful bill, but don't let the name fool you. This bill guts Medicaid, slashes college aid, and hits working families right where it hurts the most, our health and our future. If you're a single mom working full-time, guess what? Your premiums could triple. If you're sending your kid to college, they want to cut Pell Grants, kill subsidized loans, and redefine full-time from 12 hours to 15 hours. So either you could be possibly struggling in class or you got to quit your job. And here's the kicker. If you get sick or lose your job, you got to pay no matter what. Don't believe me? Just watch. Give me a few minutes of your time so I can run this down to you real quick and show you what you can do to help stop this bill because it's still time. The first one I'm going to break down is about Medicaid and the ACA Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. Here's a breakdown of a real-world scenario that can happen for a mother of two that makes 40 grand a year. Making that much, she probably qualifies for the CHIP Act, which is the Children's Health Insurance Program, which is under Medicaid. So her kids will be covered. So all she needs to worry about is health care for herself. For herself, for a silver plan, middle of the road plan, it's $67 a month, no more than $800 a year. The subsidies are capped at 2% of her income. That's what's happening now. But under this new bill, if it passes, those subsidies goes away this year. So premiums can increase to 4 to 6.5% of someone's income. So where she was paying $67 a month, now she could be paying anywhere from $160 to $260 a month. That's a premium of $2,000 to $3,000 a year. Plus, it introduces new red tape, which slows down the process or it makes it much harder for you to get on those programs. So here's a comparison between what's happening now and what would happen if this bill passes. The mom is paying $67 a month. That's $800 a year. Under this new plan, she'll be paying at least $160 to $260 a month. That's $2,000 to $3,100 a year versus $800 a year. Here's her hourly wage. She's making 40 grand a year. That's only $19 an hour. That's $1,500 every 2 weeks. Here's another scenario of a family of four, a mom and dad who makes $40,000 apiece for a total of $80,000 with 2 kids. Because of their income, they make too much for the CHIP program in Texas. So they must use Obamacare. Currently, with the subsidies, they would pay anywhere from $430 to $570 a month. But if this bill passes, they'll be paying $670 a month to $1,500 a month, depending on the plan that they get. Let me say that again. Anywhere from $670 to $1,500 a month, depending on the plan they get. That's why we need to call our congressmen and our senators now to get this bill stopped. Lastly, I want to talk about who's actually on Medicaid. Here's a breakdown of who's actually on Medicaid, because the Republicans want to tell you that we're just creating a work requirement. That's it. Nobody's getting cut off of Medicaid. Here's the truth. 63% of people on Medicaid right now already work. 8% are students. 9% are caregivers. That could be you caring for your infant child or toddler to you caring for your parent. 14% are people 65 and older, our seniors. Yes, our seniors get Medicaid as well as Medicare. And 6% are disabled and others. So that's who this bill will truly affect. All of us.
You're going to love and cherish Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. We're not going to do anything with that.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question.
What happens if it comes to your desk, has the tax cuts, but also cuts to Medicaid? Would you veto that?
Well, we're not doing that.
Would
no,
you
we're
veto
not,
that?
I would if they were cutting it, but they're not cutting it. We're not cutting Medicaid. We're not cutting Medicare.
Our next subject, we're going to talk about how this bill affects students and borrowers. This bill cuts Pell Grants and eliminates subsidized student loans, raises full-time students from 12 hours to 15 hours. Parent Plus loans are maxed at $50,000. No payment pause during unemployment or hardship. Forbids future presidents from forgiving student debt. And loan payments may continue while you're in your Social Security years. Who receives the Pell Grant? 62% of all Pell Grant recipients are working students. 14% are student athletes from low income families. 13% are single parents returning to school. 59% of Black, 50% of Hispanic students receive Pell Grants. 32% of white students, as well as 20% of all other racial groups, receive grants. Veterans receive Pell Grants as well. Here are the long-term effects for the students and parents that receive loans. The Parent Plus, I told you already, maxes out at $50,000, and that's for the entire family, not per kid. Subsidized loans disappearing means interest starts occurring the moment you get the loan. So you borrowed 20 grand, next month you owe 20 grand, $500. Many borrowers are still paying for loans 20 years plus after they got them. The BBB eliminates loans forgiveness if that's the case for you. Social Security checks could be garnished to repay the loans. So you borrowed the money in your 20s, you're paying well into your 60s. Loan balances often grow over time due to compounding interest. Again, that starts the moment you get the loan. This bill eliminates safety nets like loan forgiveness and income-based repayment. Seniors have to pay loans seniors having to pay loans decades after leaving school. I know some of you may be saying, well, just pay your bills. Currently in the White House, our president has filed for bankruptcy 6 times. If he had student loans, he would still be paying that bill. That's right. Student loans cannot be discharged in a bankruptcy. Having these loans can delay home ownership, saving for retirement, and cause other financial instabilities. It also discourages people from even trying to go to school and better themselves because they know they're going to have the burden of these huge student loans after they get out of school. This bill also locks in anti-relief rules so no future president can undo it without an act of Congress. Ultimately, this bill shrinks access and opportunity for low-income and minority students. Yeah, it helps kill the American dream. So to recap, the BBB plan threatens access, flexibility, and long-term opportunity. Student loan relief is restricted, no forgiveness or deferment. Pell Grant cuts hurts first-generation students, working students, and student athletes. Borrowers may face hardship into retirement with no escape. And lastly, real reform should lower costs, expand aid, and protect repayment options. This is about making America better. Ain't that what we all want?
Yes! Yes!
Now, after learning all of this, you're probably asking yourself, what can you do to help? Call your member of Congress. It only takes a few minutes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Shipwreck Podcast every Thursday, 7 Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.